you ever felt like you're running out of time? Are you delivering assignments or making projects the day before it's due? Are you only reacting to what is next on your daily basis, or are you taking control of your life? People struggle with management issues all the time, and this happens because of the lack of the skills necessary to get a time management success, and this obviously leads into failure. Most people get started into scheduling and planning for the future, downloading apps that may help them, or making beautiful calendars by hand only to be left at the very first day of beginning them. Why does this happen? How can we become better time managers? Hello, I'm Miguel Garcia, and through this presentation, I'll talk about why community struggles to be effective at the hour of using management tools, and I will mention the 3 skills that will produce positive time management outcomes in your life. Let's get started. At first, a series of different facts were taken from reliable sources that will help in the structure of future research. To get started, we know that younger and adults suffer from making a series of specific tasks, named TBPM, or time-based prospective memory tasks. The struggle with these tasks result in a bad management of time, getting too early or too late to specific appointments. The performance on these duties is different depending on the person that is being analyzed, because each of the persons that are being analyzed has different knowledge regarding timing strategies. Another important fact is actually regarding school principals. The study made revealed that principals that are better managing their times generate more control in classrooms and the correct education of their students, but by doing so, they risk their time to build their interpersonal relationships. Another important conclusion that this study gave was that male principals reported lower time management scores than women, which will be an important factor later on. The information just mentioned helps to prove the hypothesis on which it is based our report. The other tool we will use to corroborate is a survey that was conducted in the neighborhood of El Porvenir, located near San Juan del Rio City in the state of Querétaro. This online survey had the purpose to understand how each member of a family managed their time and which was the performance obtained in the duties they make. It was expected to obtain results from people from all ages to boost the possibility of obtaining all the data that I have just mentioned from every age. I have commented, to separate time management success from failure, we require 3 main skills: awareness, arrangement, and adaptation. By asking this series of questions, we expect to know if people know about these skills and if they know how to use them properly. First, it is important to know the basis of the research, asking questions about the relation status of the people surveyed, their gender, and their age. What we found was that our population was mainly composed by married people in a 64%. From the survey, we can also obtain information that 79% of the people surveyed are women and that 72% of the population is an adult from 36 to 64 years. This information is relevant and we should keep it in mind for the next responses regarding the analysis. After determining the basis for the research, another 3 questions were asked to the surveyed people. In these results, it was expected to know if people knew about time management and if they recognize the topic as important, identifying if their mindset is the correct one to achieve the awareness skill, an elemental factor in the success of time management. At first, we can find that most of the population agreed that time was a limited resource, a global 68% counting both agreed parts of the Likert scale, measuring the difference with the disagreed part of the scale, which is composed of 0% of the population. Following up, we measured that 56% of the population can recognize the difference between an urgent and an important task, and 36% can strongly recognize the concepts with clarity. Finally, 50% and 13% of the population have read about managing techniques. We can determine with this information that the population analyzed had at least a mindset clear about how to manage their time. They look for advice or information relevant on how to do things properly, and their value of time is high. The information collected to determine that the population have the skills necessary, besides the awareness skill, for a successful time management led to a negative result. In our research for the reasoning behind these conclusions, we found out the following results. 75% of the total population sleep from 7 to 8 hours per night. The 25% remaining belongs to the people that only sleep from 5 to 6 hours per night. These are actually positive results in the search for developing the skills necessary to manage properly their time. With the energy given by a correct sleep schedule, it should be possible for the population to manage properly their time. But what causes them to fail then? The following pie chart might have the answer. Although people are sleeping properly, they struggle to keep focus on the activities they make, and 52% and 12% of the population agrees with this statement. Basically, 64% of the survey agree that distractions are the main time consumer for them. This affected the people that try to use managing time techniques. Why? Because only 15.36% of the people in the survey used a managing tool and also found it useful. This led the people to believe that managing skills in general are obsolete. To sum up, the results obtained by this study led to the learning of the way a neighborhood behaves related to its time management. It was found that the residents have a series of healthy habits, and they do not lack of time, contrary to the first hypothesis. Although the inhabitants didn't have the proper time management skills, they were on the correct path to develop those set of skills. The question is, why can they improve? The information collected let us know that the people surveyed was sleeping the right number of hours per night. Besides this, people understand that time is a limited resource. And finally, they can see the difference between an important and an urgent task. And they have learned a bit about managing time techniques. All of this information is part of the awareness skill, one of the 3 abilities needed for a successful time management. Citizens recognize their time management as an important tool that can improve certain aspects of their life that will help them at the end to live a more happy and healthy life. Results also show that distractions are a huge obstruction in the path towards a great management. This unhealthy act might be the responsible of the failure to obtain the skills mentioned in the report. The following is a recommendation on how to manage distractions. Practice the other 2 abilities, arrangement and adaptation, which will help the community to design and organize their goals, change priorities, and deal properly with interruptions and distractions. It is needed a great amount of courage and effort to succeed, and change the mentality we are comfortable with. By doing so, each of us will be capable of learning one of the most desired skills and one of the rarest skills to find. I hope this presentation was useful and you could see some of the patterns we've shown in this video today and try to improve some aspects of your life by doing so. Thank you so much for your attention.